In the annals of history, there are stories of bravery and daring that shine like beacons, defying the darkness that surrounds them. Today, we bring you 5 extraordinary tales of prisoners of war who refuse to be confined by the shackles of their captors. These are not just stories of escapes, but odes to the unyielding human spirit, the indomitable will to be free. Prepare to be inspired and reminded that even in the darkest times, the human spirit can soar above impossible odds. Welcome to our top 5 unbelievable stories of POW escapes. Number 5. The Great Escape from Stalag Luft. During World War II, we meet a group of Allied prisoners held in an infamous German camp. They concocted a daring escape plan led by the indomitable squadron leader Roger Bushell. The mass escape of 76 Allied airmen from a Nazi POW camp in March 1944 remains one of history's most famous prison breaks. Although the German Luftwaffe designed the Stalag Luft 3 camp to be escape-proof, but 76 Allied airmen proved them wrong with the audacious, real-life prison break. The Nazis mobilized a massive manhunt. They erected roadblocks, increased border patrols, and searched hotels and farms. Within 2 weeks, the Germans had recaptured 73 of the escapees. Only 3 men successfully fled to safety: 2 Norwegians who stowed away on a freighter to Sweden, and a Dutchman who made it to Gibraltar by rail and foot. A furious Adolf Hitler personally ordered the execution of 50 of the escapees as a warning to other prisoners. Although only a few succeeded, the sheer audacity and meticulous planning involved make this escape one of history's most legendary tales. Number 4. Dieter Dangler and the Vietnam War. Dieter Dangler was a U.S. Navy pilot held hostage during the Vietnam War. Lieutenant Dieter Dangler was a German-born United States Navy aviator who was captured during the Vietnam War. After 6 months of imprisonment and torture, and 23 days on the run in the jungle, surviving on snakes and insects, he became only the second captured U.S. airman to escape during the war. Dangler's escape from that POW camp became one of the Vietnam War's most celebrated stories. In his incredible escape story, Dangler overcame hunger, injury, and enemy forces. His determination and resourcefulness will leave you inspired. Number 3. Slavomir Rauwitz and the Siberian Gulag. Slavomir Rauwitz orchestrated an escape from the Soviet Gulag during the 1940s, despite the freezing conditions and constant surveillance. In the Siberian wilderness, Rauwitz and a group of fellow prisoners embarked on a perilous journey. Their extraordinary trek covered over 6,000 kilometers from Siberia to India, surviving unimaginable hardships along the way, crossing mountains and unforgiving terrain. Despite such overwhelming odds, Rauwitz's determination to reclaim his freedom is astonishing and inspiring. Number 2. Flight Lieutenant Franz von Wera, World War II. Listen to the incredible story of Flight Lieutenant Franz von Wera, a Luftwaffe pilot during World War II. After being shot down over England and taken as a POW, von Wera had only one goal: to fly again. Throughout his daring escape attempts, von Wera managed not 1 but 5 escapes from British captivity. His daring feats and the cat-and-mouse game with the British authorities will leave you speechless. He is generally regarded as the only Axis prisoner of war to succeed in escaping from a Canadian prisoner of war camp and returning to Germany. Franz von Wera became a hero. Adolf Hitler granted him the Ritterkreuz des Eisernen Kreuzes, meaning Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross. Von Wera was tasked to improve German interrogation techniques for captured pilots based on his own experience with the British system. Number 1. Colditz Castle and its prisoners. Finally, our last amazing escape story takes us to Colditz Castle, a high-security POW camp during World War II. Prisoners devised a plan so ingenious that it's still being celebrated today. In one of the most ambitious escape attempts from Colditz, the idea of building a glider was brought up by 2 British pilots, Jack Best and Bill Goldfinch, who had been sent to Colditz after escaping from another POW camp, using the chapel roof since it was obscured from the view of the Germans. The 2-man glider was to be assembled by Bill Goldfinch and Jack Best in the lower attic above the chapel, and was to be launched from the roof to fly across the River Mulde, which was about 60 meters below. The runway was to be constructed from tables, and the glider was to be launched using a pulley system based on a falling metal bathtub full of concrete, which would accelerate the glider to 50 kilometers per hour. Even though the glider was never used, The audacity and sheer brilliance of the plan captivate the imagination and display the human spirit's limitless creativity. This is our top 5 unbelievable stories of POW escapes. These tales of courage, resilience, and determination remind us that the human spirit can triumph over seemingly impossible odds, even during the darkest times of history. Thank you for watching.